Welcome to the Stone Age, a time when life was in harmony with nature. Food grew right beneath your feet, and the air was free of pollution. Sounds idyllic, right? But was it really all that great? Let's dig a little deeper. This is a typical Neanderthal. Let's give him a name, Mo. You might be wondering why he's alone. Didn't Neanderthals live in families? Good question. Unfortunately, Mo's family got eaten by other Neanderthals. Some groups just saw each other as nothing more than prey. He was the only one to escape. Harsh, right? And that's just the beginning. Life was brutal back then. Mo now faces the world alone, constantly looking over his shoulder. Loneliness isn't just sad, it's dangerous when predators and other hostile groups are always nearby. Mo's day starts with a sharp hunger. Food doesn't just magically appear, you've got to work hard to find it. Sure, Neanderthals were big fans of meat, but hunting a woolly mammoth wasn't exactly a casual morning errand. Those creatures could weigh up to 6 tons, and one wrong move meant getting smashed. You need teamwork to hunt a large animal, otherwise it can be a one-way trip. And come on, nobody wants to be eaten. So Mo's best bet today? Foraging. That means hours of digging around for berries, nuts, or plant roots. To survive harsh conditions, they had to consume more than twice as many calories as modern humans. But even foraging had risks. Not all plants were safe to eat. And figuring out which ones were edible wasn't as simple as Google it. Trial and error sometimes had deadly consequences. Another option is trying to catch a small animal if luck is on his side. Everything and everyone is in the menu. So it also requires a ton of time preparing traps, examining footprints on the animal trails, making hundreds of attempts to catch prey with bare hands. Even when Mo does find food, eating isn't exactly enjoyable. As you might expect, they couldn't just grab toothpaste and a brush to clean their teeth. The lack of oral hygiene led to terrible consequences. His teeth are ground down from years of chewing tough plants and raw meat. Every bite is painful, and the ache never goes away. Almost all Neanderthal teeth discovered by scientists are heavily worn or damaged, even in relatively young individuals. Speaking of pain, his joints are also worn out from constant physical labor. Imagine walking, climbing, and lifting heavy stones every day without a break. Aches and pains were just part of daily life. The average life expectancy was shockingly low. Mo, at around 30, is incredibly lucky to have survived this long. Most Neanderthals didn't live past their teenage years. The oldest known individual reached around 40, which back then made you practically a living dinosaur. After finally finding some food, you'd think Mo could rest, but survival doesn't work that way. He needs tools for hunting, cutting, and preparing meals. Crafting stone tools was slow and frustrating. They broke often, got lost, and needed constant replacement. Archaeologists have found countless broken stone tools at Neanderthal sites. Still, without them, life would be even harder. Not perfect, but it got the job done. Every tool was a small victory in a tough world. But even with tools, Mo isn't at the top of the food chain. Danger is everywhere. There are hungry predators out there. Basically, every modern predator had its own more terrifying cave version. Cave lions, cave bears, cave hyenas, packs of dire wolves. All of them had one objective: satisfy their appetite. Looks like hunger had ruled the world back then. And let's not forget about herbivores. They weren't cute little buddies. While these animals mostly ate plants, one bad mood, and they might trample poor Mo just for fun. Staying alive meant staying alert at all times. If avoiding predators wasn't stressful enough, Mo also had to deal with the weather. The Ice Age climate was harsh and unpredictable. Bitterly cold winters made survival even more difficult. Finding shelter was crucial. Caves were the go-to option, but they weren't always available or safe. Sometimes, Mo had to build makeshift huts out of branches, bones, and animal hides. Having a cozy shelter sounds great, but it required maintenance. Something Mo probably didn't have the time or energy for. And cleaning services weren't exactly a thing back then. Sure, it's unlikely he just lived in his own filth, but the traces of daily life piled up. As a result, he had to share his space with swarms of flies, pests, and other unpleasant creatures. But despite all these hardships, Neanderthals were incredibly resilient. They adapted to their environment in remarkable ways. Evidence suggests they even made simple clothing by wrapping themselves in animal skins to stay warm. And guess what? Clothes plus no showers equals lice. We have direct DNA evidence of lice coexisting with humans since the appearance of the first primitive clothes. If there's one thing that truly changed the game for Neanderthals, it was fire. Imagine spending nights in total darkness, vulnerable to predators and freezing temperatures. Fire wasn't just warmth. It was safety, light, and even a bit of comfort. But starting a fire wasn't easy. No lighters, no matches. Mo had to strike stones together or using friction to create a spark. Chances are, Mo wasn't very skilled at starting fires. It was more about luck. If that failed, he had to rely on natural sources, like lightning strikes. And let's not forget the challenge of keeping the fire going once it was lit. So, life as a Neanderthal was a real challenge. But still, between hunting, aching bodies, endless tool making, dodging predators, and braving harsh weather, he had some time to enjoy life. Neanderthals had survived for over 300,000 years, and for that, we owe them a bit of respect.